What's up, everyone? We're back, or I'm back with another episode of the Cover Two podcast. Took a little bit of a hiatus. School kind of kept my kept my schedule tight, but we're back with daily. I'm gonna say it daily uploads, no longer a couple times a week. I'm still gonna try and keep these videos short, cause who's got time to listen to me ramble? So Thursday night, the Saints hosted the Jags, and I thought early on the Jags, they in the first half it was all Jags. The Saints defense, that has been the strength of the Saints team up to this point in the season, it looked like the Jags were going to run away with this, honestly. But the Saints, there's such a there's not a single word to describe the Saints other than Alvin Kamara and company. We could look at the box score. Like, Alvin Kamara touched the ball 29 times this game. Like, that that inning of itself is nuts. But the key going into this game was, if Trevor Lawrence plays, which he was game time decision, how is his how will his legs look? And early on, I thought that he looked, and even late, he looked like he didn't miss a beat. He he had a couple of big runs, one in the first half, one in the fourth quarter, that were big chain movers. Now, Travis Etienne has been nothing short of sensational, especially over the last three games, averaging 2 touchdowns a game over the last three. He had two on the ground tonight. I want to talk about the Saints more than the Jags because I already had high hopes for the Jags, and I'll get to the elephant in the room in Calvin Ridley here in a bit. But for the Saints to, I, I just I don't know what's wrong with the Saints. I don't think Derek Carr's washed. Is he as good as he was last year or in previous years? I I don't think so. But it's not the Saints' offensive woes should not be lack of weapons. Michael Thomas, former Offensive Player of the Year, and has the single season record for receptions. Alvin Kamara, which on any given night he could do what he did last night, touch the ball damn near 30 times and put up over 150 yards from scrimmage. Like, people could say Chris Olave had a bad game because, I mean, 7 for 57 is not bad when. But the thing is, Derek Carr targeted you 15 times. And there were points in the game last night, especially late, where it looked like he was giving up on routes. And early, the Jags were begging the Saints to tie it or take the lead early on in the game. Like, you have Saints miss a field goal, they force a fumble, punt. The punt gets muffed. You have an extremely short field, and what happens? You have to get held. You get held to three, and then it was just miscue after miscue after miscue after. I, the Saints offense. I don't know if it's Dennis Allen. I don't know if it is Derek Carr. I don't know what the. I don't know what it is. Because, like I said earlier, it's not like a talent. That's like when we think of the Saints offense, it's that they're a talented group, but they're not showing it. Before the season started, I picked the Saints to win the division, and they've looked like the second best team. And when Derek Carr has to throw the ball 55 times, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. You want Ideally, you want Derek Carr to be an above-average game manager. He can win you games, but he could also. I mean, he had the pick six in the second half, which kind of deflated the building. Now, People can talk about Foster Monroe's drop. That was awful. Like you have you, you got to catch it, but it was off your fingertips, and I'm I'm not one to condemn him because it drops happen. Does it suck? Absolutely. You have to catch the ball. It's off his fingertips. It is what it is. The game, honestly, I thought that the Jags were going to rout the Saints after the performance that I saw in the first half from the Jags. But the Saints defense kept them in this game, and Derek Carr stepped up when he needed to, led them down the field, big scoring drives in the second half. And Taysom Hill is still like I don't know what to do with him. He he is such a gadget guy that I it's it's almost one of those things where I don't know of a player off the top of my head that I can think of that is a threat throwing, which his throwing is hit and miss. It would have to be considered a trick play for him to, push the ball down the field. His legs are awesome. As you saw for the touchdown to cut it to the touchdown before the 2 point to cut it to a one score game, direct snap. I will say this though, it was awesome to see a defensive tackle being your lead blocker. That was very creative. Now to the Jags and the elephant in the room. Calvin Ridley, one catch for 5 yards. Like I thought, and this is only it happened in the Colts game in the first game of the year, then it happened in the Bills game in London. He looked like okay, yeah, that's the guy. He is the difference in this team. He brings them from a division-winning team and a borderline Super Bowl contending team. I thought he was going to take him over the top, but other than those two games, he's been abysmal. And I don't know if it's not I don't know if it's scheming him open or Trevor evolving and actually going through his reach, which is, it's great. But when you have a player of Calvin Ridley's talent, who's a number one receiver on a lot of other teams, 4 targets for one catch, I don't know. Like, thank God for Christian Kirk, because I remember when he got signed to Jags and that massive contract, a lot of people were like, they're going to be paying Christian Kirk almost $20 million a year, and he's been nothing short of sensational. You see again last night, game-winning drive when the rubber met the road. Christian Kirk dropped Tyrann Mathieu off the bus stop with a great double move, a little option route, and took it. And right when Christian Kirk scored, I'm like, okay, well, that's a game. Derek Carr is going to do what was a lot of his undoings in the first half, and to Derek Carr's credit, he led them down the field, put them in position to tie this game, and he didn't. He simply didn't. And you win some and you lose some. For Saints fans, it sucks because they played so bad in the first half, and to this end in a one-score game in which Derek Carr has a pass dropped in the end zone. That sucks. I feel I feel bad for Saints fans because your defense is still being. I understand they gave up 31, even though the pick six off of Derek Carr's hands. Um, I thought even though the Jags early on were moving the ball up and down the field, I still thought they played good enough to win, but their offense couldn't. Every time they were given a short field, it was almost as if they just deer in headlights. Deer in headlights. And this is those are the kind of games that makes me such a fan of Trevor Lawrence, where you have the ball, 4 minutes to go, find your guy. And he found Chris Kirk for that game-winning touchdown, and it was an awesome thing to see. And he didn't Trevor didn't blow me away numbers wise, but watching the game, picking up big first downs with his legs, being accurate, those are things that we want in today's NFL. Can you be accurate? Can you be mobile enough? And can you protect the ball? He didn't turn the ball over. The only turnovers were the Christian Kirk fumble and the muff punt. And the Jags defense, for me, the jury's still out, because I think their offense is fine. I think when it comes to like, I was gonna say November, but we're damn near in November. When it comes to December and January, I think the Jags offense is gonna be fine. But it's gonna be up to the defense to get key stops on third down, to continue to pressure the quarterback and force these turnovers. But still a great win by the Jags to stay with your top contenders in the AFC, because if they would have blew that game last night to the Saints, which in the first half it looked like they were trying to, I think that the Jags are in a great position to keep going forward, and the Saints are on the downward trajectory. I don't know what moves could be made before the trade deadline to maybe get another piece in, because like I said, their offense is on paper is fine. Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, Alvin Kamara, like Derek Carr, Ryan Ramczyk, like their squad is good. They have a good squad, but they're just not putting it together. Now, it's only week 7, so I don't want to overreact, but this could be a game when it comes to wild card seeding and teams that are in or out. This game could be like, damn, if we would have had a better first half, maybe we win this game. Maybe if they cash in on the punt muffed, I think that because it gets a little tighter, I still want to see more of more Trevor Lawrence in a tight contested game. I know he can do it, because once again, I want to say I said I want to see him in more tightly contested games. He led the game winning drive yesterday, and I want to see more, because I wanted the quarterback talent in this league right now is second to none. I can't think of another time that we've had so many young, good to borderline great quarterbacks. I just wanted to. I always just want to see more. And as a consumer, that's what we want, right? We want to see more. We want to see our teams win. We hate to see them lose, but I think this is a great win for the Jags to, like I said, keep up with the big dogs in the AFC, and it's going to be interesting to see what, if any, moves are made. That is all I have for this game. I will be posting more previews for the rest of the games for the Sunday slate, and yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. I will talk to you guys. The outro was so bad, I'm gonna keep it in anyways. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to everyone later.